Hey, what's up guys, it's Everton G Player, and today we are back with part 3 of opening up the new Capenna commander decks. Here we have the Obscura operation, led by Camise, known as Obscure Oculus. So again, these are decks I haven't really opened up. Well, I don't have that much experience, because the other two were the ones that I had originally. I lost them, now I got them back. But these three I also got just because, like, might as well get them all. They're all really nice decks. So let's just get into this. So this is the Obscura deck, which main mechanics like conniving, kind of being pretty sneaky, like unblockable stuff, like Miz does that. You'll see cardboard cutout thingy. Also, for like I have now new things to collect here. So just the new pamphlet here that I can collect. And life wheel. This life wheel's nice. Like the color. Plastic. And they're just like extra, I don't know. Our sample booster pack. We're gonna open this up first. Any goodies, many things I'm looking for, just triumphs. Triumphs are nice. Rebel Rousing, Hideaway 5. Whenever you attack with one or more creatures, create that many 1/1 green and white citizen creatures. Then, if you control 10 or more creatures, you may play the card without paying its mana cost. So it's a Hideaway card. This is a cycle in the set. This one's interesting. I mean, 10 creatures is a lot. Maybe in the Cabaret deck, it's actually a pretty good one. And we also have Rocco, Cabaret Caterer. This was like a CEH card, like deck at one point. I don't know if it still kind of is relevant, but it's pretty nice. It X, red, green, white, and then when it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a creature card, may by X less button to the battlefield, then shuffle. So basically, just 3 mana plus the mana cost of whatever you want to tutor, put it in. That's why I was like pretty good in CEH, just let you tutor out what you want. It's a pretty nice card. Alright, now to the deck. So we now have the thick Camise. It's definitely nice for me because I'm going to be collecting these on. They're going to go into my collection of like oversized. Like I have like the oversized like Anya and Cadino when I got those when they used to be oversized, and also have the thicks and like the pamphlets and like their life wheels. I keep all that. Tokens, we'll go through quick. We have tentacles, fairies, squids, thopters, and then we have also things for counters and teach you how to play, treasures, the monarch, rogues, clues, and champion of wits. This looks like an embalmed card. It's interesting. So let's go over the deck. So Camise, Obscure Oculus. Whenever you attack, target attacking creature can't be blocked this turn, and it connives. Connive is the mechanic for Obscura, which is you draw a card, then you discard a card. And if the card you discarded it was a non-land card, you put a +1/+1 counter on the creature. And then a creature with lesser power than that creature gains double strike until the end of turn. So very, very like aggressive stuff. Like you want to just be cycling your stuff, and you just want to be like just attacking people with this, getting value. With your like connive and just making big things that are unblockable. Which is really nice. Like just giving something up, just having the innate abilities to give something unblockable straight up is like just really good. And then a card I actually do have because it was in my counter deck. That's just a very nice card I have. It's just Tivit, Seller of Secrets. Flying Ward 3. Council's Dilemma. Whenever Tivit enters the battlefield or attacks, choose. Well, it's evidence or bribery. Evidence, you make a clue, and bribery, you make a treasure. And then whenever, while voting, you get an additional vote. So you get 5 of those things because of that. Your opponents choose 3 of them, but you get to pick 2 of them. So usually you're going to make the treasures, and they're going to give you the clues. Usually that's how it goes. Yeah. It's a CDH commander, very powerful, strong card, because it has so many combos with the Time Sieve, I think that's what it's called. So yeah, let's get into the deck. This is another great staple card. Offer you can't refuse. Counter target spell, non-creature spell, and opponent controls. Its controller creates 2 treasure tokens. Such an amazing card, very powerful card. Used in so many decks. Really strong. But yeah, CH card. Obscura Charm. Read this out loud. Turn target multicolored permanent with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tap. That's interesting. Counter target enter sorcery spell, or destroy target creature with mana value 3 or less. So yeah, again, the charms. They do pretty decent things. And all packaged for 3 mana in a molded card, so that's pretty nice. Obscura's Storefront. Same thing as like all those other lands. They come in, sacrifice to gain your life, and search for a basic land of the color that is of the house. So Obscura, so white, blue, blue, black. Source to Plowshares. Very standard, typical card for white. Standard removal spell. Daring Servitor. Fine card. It's a looter 2/1 whenever the Daring Servitor does common damage to a player, you draw a card, then you discard a card, and you can also pay 3 to make it unblockable. But with your commander, you can just make it unblockable outright. So it kind of does, the connive thing itself, except you don't get like the plus and some counter value off it. But it's still pretty nice. Looter Ilkor. Shadow. So it can't block, it can't be blocked by creatures unless they have Shadow. Ooh, that's what it is, yep. And when it does common damage to player, draw a card and discard. So yeah, looting's the name of the game with this. Especially you see like the Obscura Charm lets you bring stuff back. So it just wants you to just be aggressive, loot, and then just get value off that. It's have unblockable stuff. Treasure Graves, but here's a great payoff for your graveyard. Delve, draw 3 cards, and it costs 7 generic and a blue, so delve a lot of that cost away. Really nice. Whirler Rogue, great card for unblockable stuff. When it enters, create 2 1/1 Doppelers, which are already pretty hard to deal with to block. And then you can tap 2 untapped artifacts you control to give a creature you control unblockable. So nice. Really nice card. Ink Fathom Witch. I don't know about this one. Fear. Can't be blocked except by artifact and or black creatures. 2 blue and a black. Each unblocked creature has base power and toughness 4/1. Ooh. That's interesting. It's a 2 mana 1/1. So that's pretty interesting. It lets you buff like your unblocked creatures. So with Kamiz, just make your thing a 4/1, just base stats. Pretty nice. Mask of Riddles. Equipped creature has fear, can't be blocked by artifact creatures. Black creatures, rare bonuses. When an equipped creature does common damage to player, draw a card. Costs for 2 and equips for 2. Alright, so again, great unblockable value stuff. Arcane Signet, standard. Signet, pretty standard. Command Sphere, standard for commander decks, but usually you're going to take this out. Dimir Signet, Fellowar Stone, Orzhov Signets, all the Signets, all the ramp. Soul Ring, no Soul Ring. Swifty Boots, nice card. When it enters, equipped creature has hexproof and haste. So Lightning Greaves, except costs 1 more for the equip. But hexproof's a little better than Shroud, but usually again Lightning Greaves just wins out. Just because 0 is a big difference over 1. Air Extortion, I know this card. I love this card in my Sighted deck. Flying, 5 mana, 4/3. Whenever it enters or attacks, exile card and opponent controls, and they may cast it for as long as it remains exiled. And then whenever an opponent casts a spell that's not from your hand, you draw a card. Yep, got that right. So it's great. It just lets you just temporarily keep things out. They have to repay them, and then you get value when they play them. Like, it's such a great card. And again, you want to be attacking. It seems like you're very aggressive in this deck. So yeah. Jailbreak. 2 mana. Return target permanent in an opponent's graveyard to the battlefield under their control. When that permanent enters the battlefield, return to 1 target permanent with equal or lesser value. Ooh, that's weird. This is very interesting. So this is very political, very interesting. So you get to be like, okay, you get something and I'll get something. That's pretty cool. I don't know if I'll keep it in here because I don't kind of like that for this style deck. But you feel like matter like political decks and stuff, that's a great card. Smuggler's Share. Remember when this first came out, people were going crazy. This was like a very good card that was in this deck. At the beginning of each end step, draw a card. For each opponent who drew 2 or more cards this turn, create a treasure for each opponent who had 2 or more lands enter the battlefield. So just get you treasure and draws you cards for white, which is really good. At the time, white was pretty lacking in that stuff. Now white has a bunch of these effects. White is effectively caught up now. I think red's now honestly now the worst. Before, like, it was undoubtable. Like, white was trash, like terrible. Everyone complained, like, yeah, make better white cards, make white have more value. I think this is like the time when they like really started to hone in on white around this time. Cephalid Face Taker, 2 and a blue, can't be blocked. Being of combat on your turn, you may have Cephalid Face Taker become a copy of an archery creature until on the turn, except it's 1/4 and has this creature can't be blocked. So it should become any creature, and it's a 1/4 unblockable. So that's really nice. So again, with commands, you can do a bunch of stuff. Plus, also being a 1/4 is pretty nice because you have that, because it makes good double strike. So double strike, so I'm really nice. So yeah, like the looters and stuff that lets you draw cards, you want to put on small things to get that value, and then you want your big things to have the unblockable. I get the stack now. Seems pretty fun. I mean, yeah, it's been talking a lot. I remember this deck, like playing against it when I did like the whole pot thing. You know, playing all the Capenna decks. Yeah, it was pretty strong. Like all these decks are really strong. Change of plan X, 1 blue. Each of X target creatures you control connives. You may have any number of them phase out. Ooh. So that's pretty fun. So you basically just let them connive, and then you get to phase them out so you protect them. Pretty cool. I think I like this should go on getting like plus almost a counter that because yeah, it just gives them a counter to phase them out. In 2D, blue, split second. So split second means that once this is on stack, your opponent can't use cast spells or add abilities to the stack unless you have very special specific actions, things such as morph, to deal with this. Enchant creature, planeswalker, or clue. Enchant permanent is a colorless clue artifact with 2 sacrifices, artifact draw card, and loses all other abilities. It's interesting you can enchant a clue to this. Basically, any creature or planeswalker, or clue if you want to, just becomes just a generic clue with no abilities. So that's interesting. Mask of the Schemer. 2 blue, artifact, equipment, deals common damage. When a creature deals common damage to a player, it connives X or X amount of damage that was dealt to it. That's great. This you want to put on your big thing for sure, because it just will keep growing and growing and becoming really big and hard to deal with. Skyway Robber, 3/3 flying, escape, 3 in the blue, exile 5 red cards from your graveyard. Skyway Robber escapes, so whenever Skyway Robber deals combat damage to a player, you may cast an artifact, instant, or sorcery card from among cards exiled to Skyway Robber without paying their mana cost. Ooh. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I like this. So you just can play it back. So you probably, I would want to escape. Like, I discard this to my connive, get this back, and then once it starts doing damage, I can just get my cards back. Like, yeah, that's nice. Very good card here, Lethal Scheme. I run this a lot. This card's amazing. 4 mana, 2 black convoke, so you can tap your creatures, and each creature that you tapped to convoke this connives and destroys their creature or planeswalker, right? Yep. So this is great. Like you can tap 4 things and just connive 4 times and destroy something. Really nutty. Misfortune Teller. 4 mana, 3/1 Death Touch. When it enters the battlefield or does combat damage to a player, exile target creature card from a graveyard. If it was a creature card, create a 2/2 black rogue creature token. If it was a land card, create a treasure token. Otherwise, gain 3 life. So this is a pretty nice little value card. You can get treasures or creatures or life if you really need, but usually you want the other 2. So it's pretty nice. 3/1 Death Touch is kind of hard to get into, and then you have Commiz to just make your stuff unblockable. Rate of Return. Turn to a creature card from your graveyard to battlefield, tap for 5, and has Cipher. Probably don't know what Cipher is, but when you exile, you encode it onto a creature, and then when the creature does common damage to a player, you can cast the card without paying its mana cost. So you cast this, you get something back, and then you encode it onto something, so like another creature. And then when it does common damage, you can cast this card again, so you can keep bringing stuff back. And if Commiz, unblockable. Life Insurance, 5 mana, Extort. So when you cast a spell, you can pay white or black. If you do, you will lose 1 life. You gain that much life. Whenever a non-token creature dies, you lose 1 life and create a treasure token. Oh, it's anything. So that's pretty good. So it just lets you get treasures when stuff dies. Pretty nice. Obscura Confluence. Let's see what you do. I don't really know what this one does. One white, blue, black. Choose three. Choose same over ones. Until end of turn, target creature loses all abilities and has base toughness 1/1. Okay. Target creature connives. Return target creature card. Target player returns a creature card from their graveyard to their hand. Seems kind of a little underwhelming compared to some of the other ones. But I can see the good value in this. You can make things 1/1s. Plus, you can do it to your own stuff if you want to like get it in like with Kamiz and like put like an equipment like stuff on it, like that one with draw cards or stuff. But usually you don't. And then usually you probably just want to go like connive, and then like you want to do a mix of like the connives and like the draw card and return something back so you can kind of like get you value. Like you draw stuff, you discard, and then you get to return the thing you discarded back. So you basically didn't lose the card, you just drew your up cards. So that's pretty cool. Um, Here's the two-color commander that they used to do. Obscura, Rubbish Reclaimer. This spell costs one less to cast for each different mana value among cards in your graveyard. Whenever you discard a non-land card, you may cast it from your graveyard. Oh, this is fun. This is fun. So this is perfect with Connive because it just lets you get value from it. Kind of like now we've seen like with Spider-Man with like the Mayhem stuff. You just get to just replay that stuff. Or like the from Kamigawa, there's a card. Forgot what it was called. It was like an artifact creature that when you discard the card, go into exile, and then you could play it. So stuff like that. That's cool. Oh, this card. Currency Converter. I love this. Whenever you discard a card, exile the card from your graveyard. 2, draw a card to discard a card. It's a 1-mana artifact. You can 2 tap, draw a card, discard a card. And then you can tap it, put a card, gift card to card into your graveyard. If it's a land, create a treasure token. If it's a non-land, create a 2/2 black rogue. So perfect with this deck, it just lets you just start churning your stuff into value. Turn your discards into value, which I guess, yeah, it's the whole theme of this. Arcana of Coronation. I guess this is the Monarch's 4/5/5. When it enters, you become the Monarch. As long as you're the Monarch, damage doesn't cause you to lose life, and it's a 5/5 flyer. So that's pretty cool. It's kind of a little clunky. I mean, but the Monarch is also a pretty good thing for you to introduce into the game because you can easily get it back from anyone. Maybe unless you're not playing the Kanto deck, but you're getting, yeah, you just can't like take damage. Wait. Whenever a creature does combination to you, its controller still becomes a Monarch. Okay, yeah, obviously because they had to be done. Otherwise you couldn't lose it unless that went away. Austere Command. This is a board wipe that people used to like run a lot, but I haven't seen it that much often. It has 4 modes. It lets you destroy either all artifacts, enchantments, or creatures with power mana value 3 or less, or creature mana value 4 or greater. So usually what people would do is just 6 mana destroy all creatures, or all artifacts or enchantments, or some combination of like get rid of all small creatures and maybe all the artifacts and like their combinations. It was pretty good back in the day because it was like just very flexible and things were a little slower. But now there's just probably way better and more efficient board wipes that you could be running. Dusk, as in 4 mana destroy all creatures with power 3 or greater, and then Aftermath, return all creatures from your with power 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand. The Aftermath for 5. This card's cool. I think for this deck's actually pretty nice. Now the only thing is if you've been conniving a lot, then you're probably gonna have some big things because they're gonna be big because of the +1/+1 counters. But the Dawn's pretty good because even if they die, they're gonna be small in the graveyard because they're not gonna have their counters, and you can draw a lot of cards from that. And again, with their connive, you can get a lot of value. Sun Titan, very good card. Staple card, 6 mana, 6/6 vigilance, and whenever it enters or attacks, return a creature, not a permanent, a mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Amazing card that you get back lands, other things, great with this deck. Especially making it blockable and stuff. But yeah, that's nice. Champion what's here was the internalized card. When it enters the battlefield, you may draw cards equal to its power, then you discard 2 cards. It's a 2/1 normally for 3. But you can internalize it for 4, so when you internalize it for 4, no, not 4, for 7, it becomes a 4/4, so you're going to draw 4, then discard 1. Kinda a little bit clunky with that. Because you like the first one, like a 3 mana 2/1 that. I mean, 3 mana 2/1 to draw 2, discard 2. 3, okay, it's not like it's a bigger loop. I mean, goes well with like the themes of this deck. Also, you can discard this to later internalize it, but 7 mana is a pretty steep cost. Chasm Skulker, this is an amazing card. 3 mana, 1/1. Whenever you draw a card, put a +1/+1 counter on Chasm Skulker, which can knife draws your cards. And whenever this dies, you make it X. You make X 1/1 squids with Island Walk, where X is +1/+1 counters on Chasm Skulker. So really strong, really good. It just doesn't grow really big, especially if you're conniving it as well. Like if you connive it, you can get 2 +1/+1 counters if you use the connive on it. And then even if they kill it, you get a bunch of 1/1s. Commit memory. Put target spell or non-land permanent into its owner's library second from the top. And memory 6 mana. Each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into their library and draws 7. Kind of don't like the last one. I don't think shuffling your graveyard is something you want to do, because your graveyard's a pretty big resource in this deck. There's like a lot of things that care about it, so I don't know about that one. And commits kind of in a removal spell. Ghostly Pilfer, this card's amazing. Whenever Ghostly Pilfer is untapped, you can pay 2 to draw a card, right? Whenever your opponent casts a spell from anywhere other than the hand, draw a card, so commanders. Actually really good. I think this is like a pretty underrated card. And then you can discard a card to make it unblockable. Really good also with this, because again, discarding cards is not bad for you because you have a bunch of ways to use your graveyard. And unblockable is great for all the synergies. So I'd say normally this card's underrated, but in this deck I think it's a really sweet card. Really all-star card here. Identity Thief, 4 mana. Whenever Identity Thief attacks, you may exile another target non-token creature. If you do, Identity Thief becomes a copy of that creature on the turn. Turn the exile card to the battlefield under its owner's control to begin the next end step. It's a 0/3 normally. Which is actually great, because I'm pretty sure with how Commiz works, whenever you attack, these are both whenever you attack, so you can stack them. So it can be like, okay, make something like this, make one big thing unblockable, connive it, and then give this the double strike. And then after you do this, make it into something someone else has or something you have that's really big, and then attack with it. It has double strike. That's really nice. It's actually really cool. And the Deer Kraken, pretty simple card, 2/3. Whenever you draw a card, you can pay 1, put a +1/+1 counter on this, and make a 1/1 tentacle. So pretty good, can grow pretty big, gives you a bunch of little 1/1s. Pretty nice card. Stolen Identity, another Cipher card. Create a token that's a copy of target artifact or creature. And then Cipher, so you can go down something, it does damage, you get to play it again. Nice card. Custody Lich, I like this card a lot. When it enters, you become the monarch, and whenever you become the monarch, each opponent, target player sacks a creature. So again, monarch's something you can pretty easily get. Especially, honestly, with this, I'd want you to take the monarch and be like, okay, get it back, and then make someone sack something. So that's really nice. Ooh, Drana, Liberator, Malakir. Card's amazing. 2/3, flank. First strike, when it does common damage to a player, pull a +1/+1 counter on each attacking creature you control. It's great because the first strike makes this card really good because it attacks in first, then you put a +1/+1 counter on all your other things, and then they do damage. Very strong card. Precision's already has its evasion. It's usually pretty smaller. You have something bigger, you can get double strike. Like, yeah. Graveblade Marauder. 1/4 Depth Touch. Whenever Graveblade Marauder does common damage to a player, that player loses life equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Ooh. That's right. So you give this unblockable another way, and then give it double strike of commit. Like, oh, that's nutty. That's really nutty. Here's a very strong card, Nightmare of Making, 5 mana. Exile each creature with power greater than the number of cards in your hand, or exile each creature with power less than the number of cards in your hand. So it's a board wipe. It's pretty selective. Exiles everything. It's pretty interesting. I like it. Profane Command, X black. Choose 2. Target player loses X life. Return target creature card with made by X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Target creature gets -X, and up to X target creatures gain fear. Can't be blocked. So you can give yourself a lot of unblockable. You can make someone lose a bunch of life. You can get something back. You can kill something. Pretty flexible. I mean, yeah, it's a command, so makes sense. Ooh, this card from the Brawl decks are really late though. Artful Provocateur. 2/3 flying death touch life. Other creatures with flying get +1/+0. Whenever you cast an artifact or enchantment spell, make a 1/1 fairy. This is interesting, kind of interesting. Including, I think this is probably here just for a reprint of this card. I mean, I guess it's a little bit of evasive, and it can buff up other things that are flying, and you can get some meta of it. It's a little interesting to include. I think it's mainly just for that reprint, because it's kind of not that synergistic with this deck, but still pretty nice. Daxos and Miletus, 2/2, 1 white blue. Can't be blocked by creatures power 3 or greater. And then whenever Daxos of Miletus combat damage to a player, exile top card of that player's library, gain life equal to that card's mana balance, and return you may cast that card and spend mana of any color to play it. So it has a little bit of evasion built in and lets you just get value from other people's stuff. Pretty nice. Dragon Lord Ojutai. 5 for flying, has hexproof as long as it's untapped. When it deals combat damage to a player, look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand, the rest into the bottom of the library in any order. Kind of wish it was graveyard, but that's still pretty nice. Again, good value from damage and the whole name of the game. Fallen Shinobi, Ninjutsu. When those combat damage to play, that player exiles the top 2 cards of their library. So on the turn you may play those cards without paying mana cost. That is really nice. 5 mana, Ninjutsu for 4. It's a really good card. Shadow Mage Infiltrator, 1/3 with Fear. We already know what Fear does. I've read it so many times. When it does combat damage to player, draw a card. Very simple card, but pretty nice here. Just again, need a little evasive creatures. It's the whole point of the game. Silent Blade Oni costs 3 blue, black, 7. 6/5 as ninjutsu for 4 blue-black. When it deals combat damage to a player, look at that player's hand. You may cast a spell from among those cards without paying their mana cost. Well, that's why it's so much mana. That's a very nice effect. More healing stuff. Thief of Sanity. It's a 3 mana 2/2 flying, and when it does combat damage to a player, this will exile top 3 cards of the library, and then you can choose one of them to keep, and then you can play it, I believe. Yep. Look at the top 3 cards of that player's library, exile one of them face down, put the rest into their graveyard. Well, put the rest in the graveyard. You may look and cast that card for as long as it remains exiled, spend mana as though any color to cast it. Cool. Other end, 4 mana, exile target non-land permanent. Pretty standard. I mean, I feel like this was played more back in the day. I think it's still a fine card, but we have a lot more efficient removal, I think, these days. Rexiel, the Risen Deep, 3 blue, black. Island, and Swamp Walk. When it deals combat damage to a player, you may cast target instant storage card from that player's graveyard without paying its mana cost. That spell you put into graveyard this turn, exile instead. It's a 5/8. Pretty nice. I like it a lot. Just pretty good evasive. It's expensive. It's big. It's good. It just can get you a lot of value, especially if you're playing like things also like great to play against the other decks like the Inhello deck because it's blue black. I think it's kind of like quit a spike. Quit a spike's fun. 3 mana equip creature has depth touch. You can play to equip it, and when it deals combat damage, equip creature does combat damage to a player. That player loses half their life rounded up. Yeah. Fun stuff. Boost like Resurrected. Copy target triggered ability. You control, you may choose a new target. So you can copy Kamiz. Oh, that's nutty. Oh, that's so nutty. Alright, I think that's pretty much what's the deck. Let's get into the lands. Trip Estuary. Creeping Tar Pit. It's a really good card. It's a man land, so you can pay 1 blue and a black to make it a 3/2 with unblockable. Which is pretty good. Darkwater Catacombs, Odyssey Filter Land, Exotic Orchard, Fetid Heath, which is a normal filter land, Porktown, Prairie Stream, Slowcave, Second Hollow, Temple, Wafer's Bauble, Little Recent Ramp Spell, Arcane Sanctum, Ash Barrens, Command Tower, Esper Panorama, Myriad Landscape, Path of Ancestry, Rogue's Passage, actually pretty synergistic with this deck. Then we have the Thriving Heath, Isle, Moor. Then we have islands, well, plains, islands, swamps, and then one of each of our full art specials. Kind of wish they did more like that, and like these decks. That was great. This deck looks super fun to play, honestly. Maybe I might consider building some of these other ones. They look pretty fun. But yeah, that was that. That was super fun. Opening these up. I'm just looking through these decks. And, man, Commander Precons just got me, man. Like, just looking through them, I was like, man, these look so fun and cool. So many fun and cool decks. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and average MG player out.